4강에서는 장현우 선수의 기세가 워낙 좋았어서 그렇게 결과가 나온 것 같아요. 보면서 잘 맞춰가는 것 같아요, 상대방을. 그래서 잘할 때는 되게 빈틈없이 자연스럽게 게임을 이겨있게 만드는 걸 잘하는 것 같아요. 저그를 3번 만나도 3번 다 준우승했거든요. 테란을 만나거나 프로토스를 만나야지.
사실 도우기가 토스전 폼이 많이 오른 줄 알았는데 준우 형한테 2패로 지는 거 보고 실망도 하고 좀 많이 아쉬웠어요. 도우기가 대회 준비 진짜 열심히 하는 친구인데 준비한 거 그대로 못했다고 하더라고요. 그래서 준비한 걸 못 쓴 게 제일 아쉬웠던 것 같아요.
처음에는 너무 허무하게 져가지고 약간 좀 짜증도 났는데 응원하는 입장에서 6강까지 가가지고 기분 좋았어요. 운반 실력만이었다면은 이번엔 그러니까 좀 자신감도 생겼을 거고 열심히 하면 갈 수 있지 않을까 생각합니다.
Hello. Hello, I'm back after 2 years and I'm really excited to be playing in the GSL again. Happy that I can come back since the COVID restrictions are lowered a little bit. I think I'm definitely better than 2 years ago, but I think I can get even better now that I'm back in Korea. I think definitely the most impressive person from last season for me was creator, Hyun-Ryu, because actually it's pretty inspiring because he did so well after struggling in the GSL for so long.
10강 갔을 때 저보다 못한다고 생각하는 사람이 거의 없어요. 그래서 저는 그냥 제 천정만 없으면 될 것 같아요.
I like to, in my group I want to put Maru, Trap, Dark, and Rogue.
그냥 4티어 선수들이 오면은 그래도 좀 할만할 것 같고 3티어는 또 다 비슷비슷하더라고요. 그래서
저는 원하는 선수보다는 누구만 아니면 된다 이런 거는 있는 것 같아요.
I think in online tournaments I've lost to Beyond so many times. Rather not fight against him again. And also Mario. I think maybe those two Terran players would be the scariest for me.
박용우, 조성주까지 이겼긴 한데 그냥 상대하는 자체가 껄끄러워서.
조성주, 박용우?
저그는 병렬이가 제일 힘들고 토스는 준우 형이 제일 까다로워요. 지금 준우 형이랑 병렬이 빼면은 할만한 것 같습니다.
준우 형, 재선이 형이랑 많이 친하긴 하지만 숙소 생활을 많이 해봤잖아요. 사실 준우 형은 좀 무서워요. 잘 때 좀 건들면 아예 안 돼가지고 좀 잘 때 밤에 편한 거는 진혁이 아니면은 뭐 재선이 형 이렇게.
혼자 갈래요. 혼자 여행 가본 기억은 없어서 그냥 혼자 갈래요.
Sound that travel with sound and travel with trap and be a good 3-player Protoss traveling team around the world.
진에어 사람들은 다 편할 것 같아요. 저도 병렬이가 제일 재밌을 것 같아요. 서로 놀려도 별로 상처 안 받는 그런 느낌이라 재밌게 놀 것 같은데.
대부분이 제가 뭔가 나서야 될 것 같고 유진이 형이랑 가면 반대 입장이 될 것 같아요. 제가 편하게 가고 유진이 형이 저를 챙기느라 고생하고 이럴 것 같아요.
장현 열정이 너무 넘쳐가지고 좀 장난이긴 한데 좀 피곤할 것 같아서. 예.
저는 민수. 내가 이 사람이랑 같은 방을 썼는데 너무 빡셌다 이런 후기들이 들려오니까 제일 싫을 것 같아요.
하루 반 그냥 얘랑 여행하는 거 너무 귀찮아요.
시즌2부터는 다른 모습 보여드릴 수 있도록 좀 빡세게 준비해 오겠습니다.
20강만 뚫면은 한 번 더 높게 갈 수 있다고 생각을 해서 준비 열심히 해서 올라가도록 하겠습니다.
Since I lost both my matches the first season I played here 2 years ago or so, I wasn't able to do any interviews or say anything on camera to the fans, so I'd really like to at least win a few rounds so I can do that.
요즘에는 그런 마음이 큰 것 같아요. 부끄러운 경기는 하고 싶지 않다. 집중해서 연습 준비 잘 해가지고 괜찮은 경기력을 보여드리고 싶어요.
Today's matchup: Trap, Astrea, Q, RagnaroK. Round of 20, Group D. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live. 2022 GSL Season 2.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for waiting. It's time to go into the winner's match now for Group D. One of these two players is going to advance. It's either going to be Trap or RagnaroK. I'm thinking it's probably going to be Trap. It's not because I think RagnaroK is playing poorly, but I think Cure is playing poorly, if that makes sense. So It's hard for me to really speculate about where RagnaroK's skill is at. I need to see him against somebody that's really in good form, and it seems like Trap is playing very, very well.
Okay. That's fair enough. I have a counterpoint, though.
Okay.
I think RagnaroK's going to proxy hatch 2 games and then do some other thing another game, and he's going to win 2-1.
Well,
so what about that, Tasteless?
I am going to just surrender the overwhelming truth.
Did I just destroy you with facts and logic?
Yes, destroy me with facts. I am literally shaking right now. All right, we're going to go to Berlingrad to start this off. Curious Minds for Map 2. Map 3, 2,000 atmospheres.
Lucky for RagnaroK, there's no 4-player map here that Trap can guess what base he's at, so I think he's looking good.
All right, guys, our game's ready. Let's go.
Guangdong Freaks, Trap. Alpha X, RagnaroK.
Okay, pool right away.
All right. Well, it's not a proxy hatch, but a pool first. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I wonder where he goes with this. Love you, Trap.
Prove toss is imbalanced.
All right.
Excellent sign. And it's going to be a later hatchery down here. Just got to burn off some calories, do a little bit of pacing.
On the drone? I think he needs every calorie possible to make himself a hatchery.
A lot of calories to take in and become a hatchery.
Yeah. I don't know how he
you
grows so
eat,
big.
6 times a day to bulk that much up.
The thing is, with how small the drone is and how big the hatchery becomes, it seems like it would have to be so thin and full of air, you could just go up and pop it.
Yeah.
Like one off strike.
The drones are literally just made out of parachutes. So we got 6 slings coming here. And, it's not a direct line across the map. You'd have to nibble through the minerals here. So I'm curious how well this is going to go. One thing about maps that, don't make for a convenient path to the other side of the base, you have to kind of get into a pro gamer's mind to understand why this would work anyways, is that, you're going to discount unlikely strategies, right? Because they're not efficient.
Okay,
yeah. And so even though these lings are not, this rush isn't optimized, it's still going to get there. And Trap isn't going to have anything. I think he's just going to kill the pylon and win the game.
If you kill the pylon, the game is basically over at that point. So some probes are coming down. He's trying to make another one. He's going to wall this off all the way, or attempt to.
I don't know how many lings you need to have attacking something to basically ensure that it will not warp in.
Well, he's going after probes. There is going to be an adept that gets out, it looks like. But how many probes can he get?
Yeah, can he trap the adept?
Well, there's more lings coming, so he can do a flank. Oh, no? Okay. So, actually, Trap has dealt with this quite well so far.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty tough needle to thread here, but if Trap can... Oh, well, there's 2 pylons there.
Yeah, the double pylon play was definitely very intelligent.
Yeah. If Trap can handle this perfectly, though, it's going to be a bit of a problem here. Ling speed is about to finish, which is going to make, finessing a fight a lot tougher. The first adept, actually survives, by the way.
Yeah, and there was some terrible miss micro there from RagnaroK. He had 2 lings that were not attacking the pylon for quite some time. They were clicked on going into the base, and the other 2 lings were blocking them. So definitely didn't work as well as RagnaroK was hoping. We've definitely seen, Protosses die to the pylon going down, but this time Trap lives, and yeah, I mean, I think he's fine, right?
Yeah, I don't know where the Zerg wants to go from here. Nice surround on this one adept. It's not going to shade away in time. I feel like this has to be kind of good for the Protoss, though.
I think with the Oracle coming out, he has to, feel pretty good. He can just produce his probes pretty comfortably here. It's a funky looking wall in, that's for sure. That's an ugly wall. It's like a little kid made a maze into the base. But the pathing is so good in StarCraft 2, you're not going to keep anything out with it.
Okay, so I think from here it's going to be an uphill fight for the Zerg. You would have wanted to have that third base sooner. Anytime you see a rush like that and it doesn't do like absolutely devastating damage, which it could have had Trap not been so collected when he dealt with it, it just seems like tempo-wise in a PvC, the Protoss should be pretty comfortable. And I think it's fair to say that if you have both these guys get into a healthy mid-game, I do just think Trap is a superior player.
Well, it's certainly that's something that we've seen overall, but I don't think that RagnaroK's position is like unplayable. He is making a Roach Horn, so it looks like he may decide to get aggressive here. Already has the Ling speed, has 17 Lings out. His drone count is not very high. Okay, he does go in for a bit of a stun. Look at that probe, that positioning of the probe, and oh my god, the 2 extra depths. Why is he attacking this?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. You know, when you see the pylon and the Nexus wedged up like that, where they have the little slot, you pretty much don't want to go there unless you have, you know, a huge amount of Lings and you're just going to right-click down the Nexus. So
if there was not the additional 2 adepts that shaded in, yeah, he breaks it. But when they shade in and you've got that type of terrible surface area and even the probe is doing his job blocking,
yeah,
doesn't seem like a great attack. So loses some extra Lings there. I mean, there's a lot of little things that aren't going well for RagnaroK, right? He's using a lot of larva on Lings. The Lings haven't gotten the type of value he was looking for. He's going up to layer. Let's see what he does with this. But Trap's economy is pretty sick, and he's good with these blink plays. Like, he's really good at opening blink and just, like, continuous pressure while continuing to macro, continue to work on his economy.
He's got Kung Fu blink micro. And so, I mean, let's see if RagnaroK's going to be ready. But, you know, losing the Lings that he did, you know, it's not the end of the world. I mean, a Zergling is basically the most expendable thing in the game. But these start to add up, especially when you get Blink involved. And it looks like that push is going to be coming here. War Prism is about to warp in. Blink is halfway done, and +1 is about a third of the way to completion.
Yeah, some continued harassment here with the Oracles. Doing a great job with them. Look at that. Nice 5 kills. Keeps them both alive. Takes a bit of hull damage, but that's all right. Funny little roaming force out here. Lots of Lings being made. Roach speed, Ravagers. Okay. The +1 melee. I mean, not a bad choice considering what he's up against and how this game has been going, I think. Right? He's not super high on workers, but he's kind of, you know, keeping on top of his unit count.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, I mean, you have to stop the attack that Trap's going to do. You know, if you try to drone too much here and Trap just comes and kills you, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where you just can't quite break the Stalkers.
Well, we're going to have, you know, this push come out here pretty soon. I mean, things are basically lining up, especially with that +1 attack finishing and the Immortal about to be done. Again, you know, RagnaroK played a pretty clean game in the mid game, but Trap is a different beast. So this is, you know, leading up to the climax, basically. Okay, does get rid of the Stasis Ward.
He's about to have +1 melee. Knocking down those rocks right now.
Oh, this one is going to go off.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Oh, good escape in the last second.
Yeah, that was nice. Okay. Ooh, can he save this? I don't think so. I think Trap is just going to railroad right through here. Yeah, Blinks forward here, picking off the Ravagers. Lings and Banes trying to come down and get something done. Well, it's a good amount of Roaches up on the high ground, but I think there's like just enough here. If he could have gotten rid of the Prism, maybe you can stabilize just barely.
Yeah, but one thing about Trap is he's never going to lose that Prism, man.
Not here.
Even uses that a little bit as bait here as he's going to mow down the rest of the Queens, shuffling the Immortal back. And he finally kills it, but I mean, is it too late? I think it is.
Yeah, he sacrificed way too much to get that, unfortunately. It was, you know, I like the aggressive play overall. But RagnaroK, I mean, just too wasteful with everything, not getting the damage that he actually required.
Immortal baiting's insane. GG. Trap takes game 1, and you know, RagnaroK, his Mad Hatter play isn't working out so far here against Trap.
Yeah, didn't work out that time. Trap dealt with it pretty calmly there. The double pylon at the natural was really smart. RagnaroK's execution wasn't quite there. The secondary Ling attack didn't work. The diving on the Prism there didn't work.
Dude, he got baited so hard with the Prism and the Immortal.
Yeah, Trap was very much on top of not losing those. But RagnaroK, you know, he's smiling a little bit, scratching his head.
Yeah, man, it's kind of an embarrassing loss there for RagnaroK. Again, though, I mean, a lot of that comes down to that Ling Rush and some poor decisions in the mid game. We're going to go on to Curious Minds for map 2. And let's see what RagnaroK's going to do. I would not be surprised, just looking at how thematic his builds have been today, if we're going to have some kind of sneakiness coming up here, some kind of rush, some kind of an all-in.
This will be a proxy hatch.
Think so? Yeah, I think you're probably right. Anyways, guys, our game's ready. Let's go.
I came for war.
Guangdong Freaks, Trap.
No drone on the map.
What?
Alpha X.
Huge error.
Does he think they're forgetting minerals? What's going on here? Don't give up hope yet, Artosis.
It's kind of dangerous for him to not proxy hatch, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Using a hatchery to expand. So it looks so far like it's going to be normal play, but I want to keep the idea open that he could still do a Nidus or I don't know, some kind of weird rush, some sort.
Yeah. I think he's trying to check right there if there was a hatchery. Yep.
Yeah, good
spots it. That's a very clever way to do it. We have seen some crazy stuff, like occasionally. Who did we see make a hatchery there and then canceled after the probe scouted it and went and built it somewhere else?
Oh yeah, who did that?
I'm trying to. I can't quite remember. It might have even been RagnaroK. I don't know. Anyways, just something I was thinking about. Obviously, he's not doing that here. Looks like a pretty standard opener from him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to let this game pan out. It's going to be a little bit until the cybernetics core is done before we can really confirm what kind of tech, what kind of direction the game's going to be, as is the case with Protoss, with the most tech options given at their disposal right away.
Yeah. I was thinking about that this morning a little bit. You know, Terran very linear. You kind of know how quickly everything can come out. And then Zerg kind of in between, a couple tech steps at each level.
Yeah.
And then Protoss all at once after that cybernetics core.
Mm-hmm. It's actually why, you know, people talk about Protoss cheese, but that's why they can do that. They get all this, you know, super polarizing tech right away after that cybernetics core.
Yeah. Robo coming up.
Yeah, Robo.
Thinking disruptor drop?
You beat me to it. That's what I was going to say. Is you know, we could have that disruptor drop into a couple of stalkers, and you know, again, we always got to mention this, and we have recent GSL champions that these guys are not just like, for instance, I think RagnaroK, when he comes into GSL, I think he's focused on each game, like, what can I do to absolutely try to win? Yeah. But I think Trap looks at this and says, well, I need to win this whole tournament, and there's plenty of other Zergs here that I got to worry about. So what are, you know, the more generic builds? And this is really just like a micro build. Like, you come out, you set up some tactics, you try to take some fights, and if you snowball it, you win. If not, hopefully you trade it and you can try to back, or I guess walk the opener back into maybe expanding. And I think after that last game that we saw, where, to be brutally honest, RagnaroK's decision-making and control was pretty bad. Yeah. I think you look at that and you go, yeah, I'll just do this build. I'll come in there, I'll box you around, and I'll win the game. Yeah. And I'll also keep any kind of super innovative, game-changing strats. Keep in mind, by the way, we're seeing Hero kind of change the whole game, going for the gateway man style, kind of super aggro. Trap can then just, you know, quietly walk out of this group and maintain the toolkit of builds he's going to have for, I think, frankly, stronger opponents later on. So I think this makes a lot of sense.
Well, I think a build like this, especially like slightly off-brand, just slightly, right? Like this is not a Stargate opener. When you think about the type of crazy, cheesy plays that RagnaroK does, generally very cheesy aggro plays go against the most standard meta stuff because it gives it the highest percentage chance to work, right?
Yeah.
But like, if you're trying to do something that like knocks a Void Ray opener on its ass, like the Disruptor drop is probably going to be good against that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. And so,
oh, Colossus after 1.
Okay, what?
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Okay.
All right, well, let's see what this can do. You know what I guess? This might be designed to look like the build we did, but he has another fork in it to throw him off.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know
dude.
what the... That was not...
What am I watching?
You're watching this just die.
Okay.
So that was...
Could that Warp Prism have also done a barrel roll before it exploded? I mean, I don't even...
The games today, this is not the best day of GSL that we've had so far.
I don't know why Trap decided to drunk drive the Warp Prism all the way through the Zerg's defenses.
It was a little bit wild. Now, a Ling counterattack coming up does cancel that. Okay, so
Good
a nice
save.
force cancel.
Minus 100 minerals.
Yeah, and some time. Yeah, and the Colossus follow-up is interesting. Like, I'm not entirely sure what it's all about. Like, obviously, Colossus is much better against Lings than is the Disruptor, and the Disruptor is much better against Roaches than is the Colossus. I don't know.
Well, I'm pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you, with this style here from Trap. That's a kind of a cool approach.
Okay, yeah.
It did look like it was going to be that timing. The thing is, you know, when you're doing these timing attacks, what the other side has to do is not make any workers and just get a big army to fight it and try to overpower it. And so when you fake something out like this, the Zergans are making this big army, and then the attack never comes. And that a lot of that army could have been drones and additional growth. So
yeah, that's a good point.
that's why this is even a strategy, because it might be misleading if you look at something and you're like, well, why would you ever just fake an attack? Like, what's the benefit? Don't they still have, you know, stuff? And the Zerg could have probably already had a fourth making right now, and instead now comes what looks like the actual push.
You think that he'll actually commit with this all the way on to creep over here?
I think he's just looking for a fight. I mean, when you have disruptors, I think you want to just be active on the map.
Sure.
Okay, this disruptor's just like out in the front, man.
Yeah,
it's a tanking disruptor.
Well, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's going to get too much done here, but I guess he is picking off some. Never mind. Okay. Some pretty good micro there. When he went so far forward, I got a little bit nervous for a moment. Now he has an observer up here, so can clear some of this creep as well.
Yeah. Nicely done here. Comes out and connects again.
Kind of a weird feeling game here, but...
Yeah, it's a funny game, isn't it? The thing is, okay, he does get the Warp Prism. I was going to say, if he doesn't get the Warp Prism, you know, he's not going to be able to stop this rush. The thing is, I feel like there's barely enough here for Protoss. These are all microable units.
Yeah, I think that RagnaroK will technically hold this, but he's on 3 base. It doesn't look fantastic. Yeah, more Stalkers walking across the map.
I'm sorry, is there no blink?
No. It's a, yeah.
Okay.
No blink.
So, anyways, I guess there's going to be barely enough roaches here to take this fight. Well, hold on. Nice connection. The Colossus goes down.
And again, it does seem like there's going to be just enough for RagnaroK to live. Let's take a look here. 47 probes against 57 drones. He's just started to probe that third, so that was a faked third. It was like a placeholder nexus there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Another disruptor drop going in deep.
Now, there's not as many queens here, so it's a lot harder to you know, find adequate defense. Thing is, he's got to be careful with this because there's also just not a lot of safe locations to kind of drop the disruptor down there.
Yeah, the zoning defense against the drops has been pretty solid.
Dude, that was sick.
Yeah, that was a really good hit.
It's harder to do that disruptor harass. I know this unit was basically inspired by the StarCraft 1 Reaver, But the thing about the Reaver is you can fire and you can pick it up as the shot's going, whereas the Disruptor has to basically stay down there.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot harder to kind of be abusive with.
Although it does reward you sometimes with much bigger shots.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, that was like the first busted thing that ever happened at StarCraft, was people figured out shuttles and Reavers.
Yeah.
And also the Reaver would always fire immediately after the shuttles. You could just like spam it in and out. And it would machine gun Scarabs.
One of the first patches, actually.
Yeah.
One of the only balance changes ever.
I guess Slayer's Boxer originally played as Protoss and did that. And then when they patched that, he's like, okay, I'm going to go Terran now. Start going for spider mines and siege tanks and dropships. But yeah, I mean, he did get that connection with on those 5 drones. That's pretty big.
Yeah, a lot of Ling Bane being made right now. And, you know, Speed Banes can be good against Colossus-based compositions. If you engage them on creep, you know, everything kind of clumps up extra, even though you're not doing full damage to those Banes. God, these Prisms, man.
Yeah. He's getting really close to just dying, dude.
Dude, he drives these Prisms like a teenager. He thinks he's invincible.
Yeah, it's been a little bit scary, man. Now the 4th base is going to come down. And, I mean, the problem for RagnaroK is basically that he's not outgrowing the Protoss. He's just matching them. All right, somehow this is going to escape again.
Yeah, man. It just doesn't die. +1 melee, almost a lot of Banelings being made. There's going to be this one big engagement that is so important for RagnaroK.
Yeah. Because if he can't strong-arm the position, I don't see any way out of this. I mean, Zerg is going to max out first, which, I mean, that's all very normal. Whoa!
Yeah.
That was...
Oh my God.
That was kind of ambitious. But, you know, otherwise Protoss is eventually going to, you know, catch up in supply, and there's going to be a really serious push. So we should see this attack come in here pretty soon.
Yeah, there are 4 sentries in there, so he's going to have a decent amount of force fields, but Ling Bane should be able to find a way in, and he has Ravagers to bust some of those force fields. But really, I do think this game is just going to come down to the next engagement. If RagnaroK smashes the next engagement, which is a real possibility, that's going to be amazing. If he does not smash it, Trap going up to 4 bases is just going to win.
Okay, this is big. Baneling's going to come forward here. Nice force fields to lock them out. Good blink away here. The Disruptors get knocked out before they can even do any damage with their shots. And honestly, the connections are so good for RagnaroK, this game may just end.
Yeah, he's killing off just about everything. Oh my God, we just had a huge Disruptor shot right there. So that one definitely paying off quite a bit. And you know what? Trap is going to end up holding this, it looks like. He has a Colossus on the high ground up at that 4th base, which is doing amazing as well.
He just has his army too disjointed. There are too many different fights going on. We have like, you know, Lings and Ravagers fighting a gateway that's unpowered. Wow. But he just taps out regardless. RagnaroK takes that game.
Yeah.
And that means we're going to be tied up 1-1.
Well, you know, he went for that one-punch victory, right? Like, he made so many Lings and Banes against, like, Blinkstalker Colossus. You can do that. Like, Disruptors have a hard time connecting with the Ling Bane. It's so fast. But well done from RagnaroK. Like, that was it was definitely a bit of a gamble, because, again, if you just hold that, like, with any cleanliness, game is over, right? You can't even remake that army. You just don't have the economy.
Again, kind of an odd game here from Trap, but I mean, let's see what he's got as we go into this next one. Again, it was like a kind of a fake timing attack into expand, but ultimately it was the engagement there at the end. The Banes just connected perfectly, and so Trap taps out, probably frustrated with that loss. And now we go to the final map, at least for these two players. 2,000 atmospheres. The winner will go on to the 5th best of 3 for the evening. Or the loser, well, excuse me. The winner, of course, goes on to the round of 10 for the GSL Code S. Yeah, I wrapped that up a little bit too quick. Game is still loading up, guys. But yeah, let's see who's going to be our survivor here. I still think it's probably going to be Trap, but You never know. RagnaroK did it once. Maybe he can do it again.
Dude, he's got cheesy plays. He can figure something out.
I came for war.
Guangdong Freaks, Trap. Alpha X, RagnaroK.
All right, probe comes down, so we'll head it over towards that third base.
Yeah. Yeah, and I am wondering what we're going to have this time around. Let's not forget RagnaroK, you know, didn't have to do anything that special in that game, you know, and he basically did win, you know.
Yeah.
Despite us kind of talking about him being cheesy, and he is pretty cheesy. Like, he did just beat Trap in a straight-up game.
Well, I don't want to call that completely straight up.
That's fair. It's not totally straight, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was
a bigger
basically
game.
RagnaroK on the receiving end of that and just sort of, you know, outdid him.
But yeah, I mean, well, look, man. I mean, cheesy Zerg is the way to go. We all saw the pictures of Impact. Like, this is...
Dude, we got to talk about Impact, man. Or told you some of Impact's Instagram.
And for you, those of you who don't remember, a very aggressive Zerg. He was at times like the 4th best Zerg in Korea. He was good. He was quite strong.
Yeah, yeah.
Pro gamer for many years. Now he's like a bodybuilder model. It's crazy.
Now he's just a hot person. Now he's just walking around with a perfect body.
Look, I want to crowdfund him versus Zest in an arm wrestling match.
That's right. In a mud wrestling match, I think is what you mean, Artosis.
Yeah. No, RagnaroK, you know, he has been playing so aggressively, and like that last game as well. That was he had to have those connections. He had to win like that, and I think that, you know, in hindsight, I'm sure Trap is kind of kicking himself because that was, you know, if you just kind of add more static D things like that, like better positioning and spread a little bit more and all that, it becomes harder and harder for RagnaroK to get the connections he's looking for. Now, going into this game, how do you hedge against everything? Looks like Stargate is the answer.
Yep. Very standard play here. Just going to go for that Stargate. Again, we don't know what kind of Stargate play it's going to be. Will it just be the one Void Ray right away, or is he going to send that Oracle out?
Trap's really good with Oracles.
He's extremely good with them. And it's actually not that easy to be good with our Oracles either. They kill stuff really fast. You got to be really on top of your micro.
Yeah. Yeah, no, his Oracle harassment execution's really good. So, like, I don't mind him making a Void Ray, but I do want to see a couple Oracles at least.
Yeah. And I would also be surprised if we see a second Stargate come down and just Void Rays get masked out or Carriers get tech too. We did have that one game where it was like 2 base into Carrier, and then all the Interceptors died, and I'm like, yeah, that's why we don't see that very often.
Oh, yeah.
This just doesn't make any sense at all.
Although I liked it when Zest did like a variation of that day you cast with State, right?
Yeah.
Where he made 2, and it was like a surprise how quickly they moved across the map, and you got like 5 queens and like 4 drones or something.
Oh,
It was like, wait, what am I looking at here? What is it? Like literally just 2 carriers fly across the map and do that?
Yeah. That was really funny. So the 3rd Nexus is coming down now. And there's another Oracle being made, so we'll probably see them attack in once more. But a pretty undefended Nexus here. You know, what, just the 2 Adepts there, I think, covered up by the health bar.
Yeah, I guess if you have Oracles in the neighborhood, you're feeling reasonable that that's going to go up.
Yeah. Getting 2 more gases as well. He's even going to send the Oracles out, so this would be vulnerable to a big Ling attack. Not that that's what RagnaroK's going to do, or even should do, but...
Yeah, he didn't make too many Lings.
Ooh, what is with him and his flying units today?
The, Trap?
Yeah. War Prisms and...
Oh, yeah. He
Oracles.
likes taking hull damage.
Yeah. He likes not having shields on his stuff.
Yeah.
And so we have the Twilight Council and the Robo. Very tech-heavy build here. The gateways are going to come filled in later on. But in the meanwhile, Trap is basically going to try to put a little bit of extra pressure on here.
That's kind of cute. Takes down a couple tumors. I mean, if you're not getting anything else done with the oracles, why not? Might finish that. Yeah. Not too bad. Gonna nail these lings real quick. And yeah, he might be able to get it. A good amount of links coming up. Reasonable drone pull. Saves the oracles during all this as well. Okay, I mean, not the best, not the worst, I think.
And yeah, look, I mean, Blink's going to be a ways out here. The gateways are going to be finally filled in. A lot of tech was prioritized first here. I think Trap's going to be in a very good position as the game develops.
+1 melee on the way once again, and it is Blink and 4 more gates coming up. So I do wonder if we're going to see something similar to that last game. I do like the +1 melee, by the way. I'm a fan of these melee builds against Protoss.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I think it gives you like a really good amount of options, because if they go Sky Toss, it's pretty decent, right? Because Void Rays don't want to deal with Lings, and then I mean, even if they go for something like this, you do have options like what we saw last game. It can be risky, but I mean, it's a way to pick up a victory. Is just like smashing with a bunch of +1 Ling Bane.
So, some more warp-ins are going to be coming here. Yeah, very slow game to start things off. That Baneling's Nest still not even finished yet. It's probably one of the least active games we've had really so far here. It does look like the beginnings of the push are going to come as all the rest of the gateways are done, especially with that +1 attack. This seems like it could be well timed here. And this is going to be angled over here to go to this 4th base. Now, there's not a ton of creep here. So, you know, it's going to be kind of tough to deal with, you know, a push like this.
His pylons are late, so the warp-in is not as big as he wants. He'll get another one in just a second here, but there you go. 7 more warp-ins coming.
2 more force fields remaining here, so he's going to wait for these to dissipate. Another warp-in round comes. Beautifully done here with the Oracle.
Comes in with the Oracle to add a little bit more damage to that Queen. Does get picked off. The force fields are just about gone now. Maybe 1 remains.
Yeah. A lot of Lings and Roaches and Raptors here. Can he come and get that 1 Immortal? He scoops that up with the Warp Prism. Again, the Warp Prism not shot down just yet. 10 more Roaches inbound here.
You know what? I think he just straight holds here. But
I think you're right.
Trap is backing up, and look at this. Trap has 67 workers. This wasn't one of those attacks that you see where it's like 47 workers and they don't really have anything at the 3rd. This was high economy, so it's not that big a deal. His economy looks great, and he's adding a 2nd Robo and Disruptor tech, which against this mass Roach Ravager is going to be amazing. But RagnaroK, let's not forget, he got +1 melee. He's getting Baneling speed. He's making more Lings. So, yeah, he's a bit weak to Disruptor, but he can go into like Ling Bane again and try to crush an army. I kind of like the overall style that we're seeing here from RagnaroK.
Can't quite recall them all.
Yeah.
All right, a lot more Lings coming. Is it going to be RagnaroK's moment to try to attack out here? Again, that last fight that we had there, man, that hatchery was like at 10% HP. It's too bad he wasn't able to just kind of force a snipe.
So here come the Banes. There are double Colossus on the way. So that is going to add a lot of damage against Ling Bane here. Oh, this is going to come down to 1 battle again.
Yeah, I think that this is going to look a lot like the previous game we just saw. The question is Trap going to have the handling this time? What?
Oh, yeah, dude.
What?
Pro gamer move.
Pro gaming. This is my job, guys.
I play this game for money.
I play this game for money.
I can't even believe
so funny.
Oh, man.
That's the worst thing.
What are you doing? Oh, my God. Oh, it is connected.
Yeah, and then Trap's like, I play this game for money. More than a game. Well, I think he holds.
Oh, that's a lot of Roach Ravagers still.
There's actually still some Banes in there, too.
Dude,
never mind.
This
is over.
Kill.
I didn't even need the Banes. Damn, Trap. Can't believe it. RagnaroK actually just going to overpower him, man.
Yeah,
Who would have thought that RagnaroK gets out of this group? Me? This is crazy to me.
Me, Tasteless?
Like, Taste, you're the only person that didn't think that. I'm like, sorry, guys.
Tasteless,
but I have a voice and you don't, so.
So hold on, he gets pushed back.
Yeah. Dude, Trap really plays this game for money, man.
For sure.
It's crazy, dude. Paid to game? What?
All right, Disruptors are coming out now. Now, does he go back into Massling Bane? Dude, this Ling Bane Roach Ravager stuff against Blink Robo, so
yeah,
I love it so much. It's like you don't do full damage to the Banelings against like anything.
Yeah,
it's just like it's all inefficient, but it's like, well, everything's clumped together. What do you want?
Yeah.
Right?
They do tend to bunch up, so there you go. Now, with the Disruptors coming here, he should be able to deal with this a little bit better. You know, a good Disruptor shot can really get a good deny on here. Is there a chance RagnaroK just powers up and then tries to come in and attack once more?
He's going to do exactly that, Tasteless.
Yeah, he's getting more Banes right now,
Look how many bases he has. Eventually, I mean, we're on 77 workers and going up to 5 base. Like, you can do these attacks.
Yeah.
I mean, if they go really poorly, you're going to die, but... Yeah, no, and here's another thing too, right? Like with this many Banes, you can do things like punch through a Nexus if he's out of position.
True, yeah.
Get right into the natural, things like that. So there's some flexibility here for RagnaroK as well. Look at this, he's adding in some Vipers. Oh my God. Like put some blinding clouds on all this. Oh my, this is hilarious.
Oh my God. Big connects here. 25 probes gone.
Dude. +2.
Oh my God.
Magical.
Well,
is RagnaroK the next Zerg Boneshwa?
He is the next Zerg Banjo. And look at this. He's like, what about Zealots? It's like, I play this game for money. Just chases him out.
I love the Observer sitting there just casually as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping an eye on that base. Like, yep, he's still mining. All right, so a nice little attack onto the 5th. Lings try to come in here. The Colossus making it a bit
What
tough.
am I going to attack? Probably nothing. Okay, he does get this base.
That's a good pick off. But RagnaroK is maxed out. He's way up in supply. Look at that. Doesn't even see it. The Disruptor's walked past it. Whoa! Look at all those +19s, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I get it. I can't bring my kids to this movie.
Oh,
more +19s.
More. No, it's too many 19s. Uh-oh. Okay, a lot more Banes coming up. It is paramount that Trap holds this or he is just going to get knocked out of this game. There's going to be some Banes hitting and then other ones coming in later on to connect. Oh my God.
Dark would be proud, man.
Yeah. Dude, he plays this game for money, man. GG. Ragnarino.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. Rags is
beef ragu? Did someone say beef ragu?
Dude, he is...
Raggedy Ann, the doll?
Look at him. Look at him smile, too. He knows what he just did. He knows.
Dish rag?
Dish rag.
Dish rag?
Oh, my God.
To dry the dishes? Yeah, I know what those are.
Rag and roll.
Rag and roll?
Now Trap has to await the winner of the next match, but RagnaroK just goes right up into that
Crab Ragoon.
Oh my
All right, guys, it's interview time. Let's see how RagnaroK is winning. He's going to the round of 10 in the GSL Code S.
RagnaroK defeats Trap, and he moves on to round of 10. And he moves on at the first place of the group as again, just like last season. Congratulations. Thank you. Well, sincere congratulations, RagnaroK. You managed to move on to first place of the group. How do you feel?
빌드를
이제 사실 저번 시즌에 다 써가지고.
Well, last season I used up all my builds, so I thought today I would be able to perform so well.
전 시즌에 했던 걸 좀 심리전으로 쓰고.
But in the last game, I used the build that I used before last season, and that worked out well. And then thankfully I was able to advance. And when I was playing against Trev, I think I was pretty fortunate. That's right. In the last game, you used like 2 groups of banelings into the rocks. So last season you defeated Trev, and this season you also defeat him again. So is Trev no longer a difficult opponent for you, RagnaroK? So he's definitely a stellar player. He's a strong player. But as for PvZ, you know, Desert can be quite tricky to play against. I mean, he's almost as hard as a hero to face. But you know, Trap, he just still plays the build that he always plays, so it's been quite easy for me. So right now, RagnaroK, do you think hero style is quite difficult to play against? Yes, definitely. And my Protoss script partner was Hero, and then I lost to him quite a lot, so I was pretty worried beforehand. But you know, I'm really happy to have advanced today. In the second game against Trap, I slightly lost the game. But in terms of micro, I had the upper hand. And then I think I was able to make it 1-1 after that one. So RagnaroK, your decision making with the aggression was very good today. And the Protoss, the disruptor was not too useful today against you. If the Protoss kept using the disruptor shots to shake me left and right and accumulate his army, that might have been quite dangerous for me. But you know, I think I had to use the creep well in order to defeat him. And RagnaroK, I never knew that you loved the proxy hatchery so much. The queen was actually just spawning creeps around the map in the game. That's right. So when I was playing against Cure, the first game, I was supposed to have 2 roaches harassing him. But then the larvae exploded, and then, you know, this was a stage thing, and I thought I just ruined the game. But after that happened, I played with more confidence. And then, you know, that went on. In practice, I didn't see any Terran canceling his command center in the expansion. So that was the first thing that I spotted recently. So RagnaroK overcoming all the adversity and coming out as the first place in the group. Alright, let's talk about something that is not related to game. So RagnaroK, you've been performing really well. You've set your career high last season. So what about this? What about this season? You know, I just don't want to. I just don't want to advance to the round of 4 like a fluke. I just want this to be consistent. You know, right now my mindset is to play like last season and go to the round of 4. And this round of 20 was very instrumental to me. And you know, I just want to gain the momentum from last season to this season, and I think I can play really well this season. So RagnaroK, it means that you want to prove yourself this season, and it feels like you're just getting better and better. Well, probably. But if this was like last year's format, like round of 8, round of 4, in round of 16, you know, it's just over for you if you lose. And right now there are more variables, and I think I gain more experience over the years. And I think right now my concentration level has increased a lot, improved a lot. And it feels like the fans have higher expectations on you than ever. So before you go on to the round of 10, anything you want to say? In practice, you know, I had Terran opponents and Bartos opponents, so I played against Bunny and Hero a lot. And all of us made it to round of 10. So round 10, I have a lot of players that I'm familiar with, so I think it's going to be really fun. And this time, I want to make it past the round of 6 as well. RagnaroK, congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, so RagnaroK moves on. Nobody thought that was coming except for Artosis. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, proxy hatches are amazing. I think he actually played really nicely. He
did.
I mean, he took some risks, but playing very decisively in a tournament is really, really smart most of the time.
And he showed a big range, too. I mean, he can play straight up and hold off these pushes, or he can totally cheese you out.
He can make like 50 banelings twice. I thought it was only once, but twice even.
Well, and so we only have 3 players left now, guys. Coming up next, we're going to see if Astrea can hold his own against Cure, because we're going to be eliminating one of these players after that best of 3. And we're going to go to a break. Guys, we'll be back in a few minutes.